really didn't have no emotion on it. You know, whatever one he chose, I'm a back him 100%. I know that he thought it all the way through. It was nothing that he just, you know, came out and said, "This is what I'm gonna do." He thought it all, the process all the way through. And I think it was great for him. You know?
Did he handle it differently than other recruits?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, but I've never had the number one player in the country either.
Right.
So it's always going to be different, you know.
You had an MVP, though.
Yeah, when he got to the NBA.
Yeah.
It's a different game, you know.
Sure.
So that's huge, you know. I think it did it the best way that it was possibly could be done.
Did you know beforehand?
No.
Did you think it was Duke, or if you had to, you know?
I really didn't know, you know, and I think I was sort of like everybody else. I thought it was Duke, between Duke and Michigan State, and Florida was the, you know, the last one that could have stepped in there, you know.
Talk about the coaches coming in this week. You know, do you think that swayed anyway, or do you think he knew last week when he set the date?
I don't think he knew last week, but I think he kind of had some ideas, you know, and I think he just wanted to weigh it in. And you know, those guys came in to finish their job. They came in to try to solidify, trying to get him. You know, I think that's all that was.
When you Izzo was in yesterday, right?
Yes.
You were with him there.
Yes.
You know, when you get done with that meeting, did you think Izzo had nailed it, or Izzo
you know,
had wrapped it up? Or?
I really couldn't tell. You know, because Jabari, you know, acts the same way all the time. You know, it was more so. I think after Izzo left, for me, it was more of a personal thing because he left out, and I've seen him so much and been around him so much now with Jabari's recruiting that I kind of fell in love with him myself. You know, and I told some guys who came up from Michigan State yesterday, if he was recruiting me yesterday, I would have committed. But unfortunately, he wasn't recruiting me, so just listening to what he had to say. But you know, I think Jabari did, you know, what he thought was best for him, and you know how happy he's going to be. So I think that's the best thing.
Thanks a lot.
Right, was it stressful? You know, the last couple of days with these schools coming in, and now that it's just finally over, what's it like?
Well, you know, it wasn't really stressful. I mean, more stress on him than me, you know. So I think he made the right decision. That's all.
Okay. Talk about Coach K and, you know, getting to know him. You know, not a lot of people get to know Coach K on a personal level. What's he like?
Very great guy. You know, very knowledgeable. You know, you get a lot of information from him. You know, I think he's going to be able to help Jabari, you know, expand his game a little bit more, even more than what it is now. So, you know, I mean, I think he chose the right school, and it was good to get a chance to get to know him and everything.
How do you think he'll fit in there, you know, both basketball-wise and as far as a student and, you know, just being Jabari? How do you think he'll fit in there?
Fine. It's a small school. It's not a large and huge school. And, you know, Jabari could fit in with anybody. So I think it'll be great.
Okay. What about the supporting cast? You know, they're bringing in Matt Jones, who obviously you guys saw last week. How do you think he's going to fit in with him and Shimmy Ojale?
Well, I think it'll be fine. You know, one thing he doesn't have to worry about is going in and be solely the man. He have players around him right away. So, you know, Jabari fits in well with everybody. I mean, he does the same thing when he was here, and, you know, we have different guys every year, so he does a great job of that.
Okay.